But to every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom, hear these words: we will not comply. So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates. And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates.
Hello, family. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Harmony. I'm your host, Richard Harmon. Today, I want to talk about the push for a mask mandate to be reinstated. Recently, Dr. Fred Fauci was on with CNN and pushing the idea of that there was a limited use of possible return to mask mandates. We've spent the past 3 years kind of navigating this particular range, and with many companies getting filthy rich off of this particular virus. In the time frame, many people can say what they want, but the issue right now that we're facing is that there was a opportunity where the government required people to take a vaccine, and companies were making money hand over fist. I'm gonna go ahead and play a video here. If it's the first time joining, please hit that like button, and we can go ahead and watch this video.
And earnings coming in at $1.62 on an adjusted basis per share versus analyst average estimate of $1.47. Revenue was $25.7 billion. Analysts had been looking for $23.9 billion. Company reiterating its full year revenue forecast of $98 billion to $102 billion in revenue. That's despite unfavorable impacts from foreign exchange. Those impacts did affect, though, their adjusted EPS guidance for the year, which they're lowering by 10 cents now to 6.25 to 6.45, also affected by
All right, perfect. So here we see the results from last year's Pfizer income and statements. So they were beating their expectations by billions of dollars, which is unbelievable. For most people, if you can beat it by a few $1,000,000, that's a lot of money. They were expecting 23 billion per in a quarter, ended up getting 25 billion, and they're expected for the range for that particular year was between 98 and 102 billion dollars. That's a huge amount of money and continues to be a revenue source overall. We'll go ahead and watch here a quick video in terms of how Dr. Fauci was on and what some things that he said, and we can come back and discuss from there.
Dr. Fauci, nice to have you back. How worried are you that people will not follow advice to wear masks if we get to that?
Well, Michael, that's a very good question. As you said, if we get to that, I mean, we're starting to see a surge of cases, as you mentioned, about an 18 or 19% increase in hospitalizations, certainly going in the wrong direction with looks like a late summer and into the fall surge. How bad it's going to get, we don't know. As you know, this is a very unpredictable virus, has shown us that over the last 3.5 years. I am concerned that people will not abide by recommendations. And we're not talking about mandates or forcing anybody, but when you have a situation where the volume of cases in society gets to a reasonably high level, particularly the vulnerable, those who are elderly and those with underlying conditions, are going to be more susceptible and vulnerable if they do get infected to get severe disease leading to hospitalization. We know that. That's a fact. We've seen that. So I would hope that if, in fact, we get to the point where the volume of cases is such and organizations like the CDC recommend, CDC doesn't mandate anything, I mean, recommends that people wear masks, I would hope that they abide by the recommendation and take into account the risk to themselves and to their families. And again, we're not talking about forcing anybody to do anything.
All right, perfect. So the pandemic was a interesting time, and there were so many people who got rich. We're finding out a lot about celebrities who were getting millions of dollars from PPP loans. We're finding out about the money that was made from mass mandates. There was so much money, and even right now, there's a lot of detective work in terms of scraping back some of the cash of people who were committing fraud. There were people who were filing for claims who were in the name of dead people from different countries and different things like that. There was just so much money pumping into the economy, and that's now being drained out, as we all know, by the work that the Fed is doing right now. It is causing a serious drain on a lot of people's income. Inflation has been at record highs, and a lot of that is because of the fact that they were, shutdowns that happened during that 2020 time period, and that overall this is now causing a huge issue for a lot of people. now that they're deciding and they're trying to talk about possibly bringing that back once again. And certain cities, we're mostly aware of those cities that are looking to do this on right now. And as we're heading into a presidential election year, we'll see exactly how this turns out right now, because there's a huge push to make sure Donald Trump doesn't get back into office. Mainly this indictment process that has been pushed overall on Donald Trump looks to be backfiring largely. Joe Biden's age is showing drastically that he is not capable, and then the idea of having him elected for another 4 years is almost a non-starter for not just Republicans but most of the country in terms of Democrats or independents. What are your thoughts on this? Please comment below. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good day.